Yeah, okay.
It could have been ratchet like Beyonce's, but it's not because I'm not. God damn it.
Welcome to Not Up for Debate, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what it is. Debate show focused on talking to hip-hop with real hip-hop fans and vets. We're in the building. It's something amazing. I'm to hear more. I'm your host. I'm the OG at this hip-hop thing. I've been listening to hip-hop since I was like 6 years old. My first album was The Chronic. I stole it from my uncle. I've been in the streets, okay? My co-host is TEDDRA NIXON.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Good morning.
Representing Long Beach by way of San Jose. Or
Hey, I don't want to represent Long Beach like that, though. No disrespect to Long Beach. I've only been there for like 3 months. I haven't got my street cred up yet. But the crackheads out there, they know me. They cool.
Okay. Well, that says a lot about you.
They by my house. I mean, what you gonna say? Well, we gonna walk past them every day. They're like, "Oh, what's up, girl?" I'm like,
you gotta talk to your crackhead.
you got to don't rob you. Yeah. Like you gotta be friends.
They can get you what you need. Crackheads they definitely are the plug, depending on where you at. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the building every week, and today is no exception. This young man that is sitting to my right is one of the huge voices in hip hop. You go to his site probably daily, along with ADD. He is the chief executive at HipHopDX and also a host of the Get Down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Breakdown. Put your hands together right now. Let's welcome Mr. Justin Hunte. Make some noise.
What up? Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited.
Thank you, man. Thank you for, first of all, shout out to, what did we get? Is it Target that we got this shirt from?
Yo, I got it as a gift, so
okay.
I don't think
it's either Target or
Box Lunch. For me.
Hey, man, listen, I got the shirt too, so I'm a fan of it, man. So shout out to the Goonies. Shout out to the Goonies. Yeah, Truffle Shuffle. Justin, man, thank you for coming to the show first and foremost. We're going to get into some real stuff, but real quick before we do anything else, we want to talk about what's going on in the hip-hop world. This Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj beef. Did you hear the diss track, TEDDRA?
I did hear the second diss track. Even though it was really, 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 really terrible, and it was garbage. Like you didn't need to do it. You won. Like stop hitting her. It's over, and you just did do too much. I would say it shouldn't distract, like the big homie Sean May said. It shouldn't distract from the fact that Nicki still didn't respond.
Yeah.
Okay, so you felt it was trash.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. Like at this point, it's like. Even though it was overkill, it should still be a rap battle between two people, and the fact that Nicki's still ignoring it is not hip hop.
What about you?
Yeah. I think another one was terrible. I wondered why she was shouting out DJ Khaled, and she knew he wasn't there. Like, why was she shouting
himself out all the time?
What's that? You be saying Khaled? And I don't think Nicki can respond.
Yeah.
Like, Nicki just can't respond.
Like, why is that?
That pedophile line, support a pedophile, like, that's a tag you can't unstick.
Yeah.
Right? No. She's branded herself after an iconic children's toy. Her brother is up on child rape charges.
Yeah.
On a 12-year-old, and they go to court this month.
Barbie and Mr. Ken.
She can't be, one, she can't have the jury pool tainted if she wants to support him. And second of all, she can't have people thinking that she supports a pedophile. Damn, son, that's a headshot. Like I think Remy won and didn't even realize it after
you know what?
That's such a huge line.
Who was hyping her up?
I would say this, man. Like I heard the track. It was nothing. My thing is, if you're gonna do an iconic diss track, you either got to use an iconic diss track that has come before, like she did with Shether, or you have to have a track that's so amazing and so banging that people are gonna want to play it in the club, like Drake did with Back to Back. So I feel like she should have definitely kept it along the lines of like, maybe she should have went hit him up next or something like that. But I feel like fucking when you win and keep your foot on their neck. Like, she can literally release a diss track tomorrow and it just be like, your brother's just a pedophile. Brother is a pedophile. and she's going to win. She's going to continue to win.
She could tweet every day, Nicki Minaj supports a pedophile.
That part right there. And she's going to continue to win.
It's done. And just have a link to the track.
So shout out to everybody. Keep your foot on the neck. I don't care. Like, it's good for hip-hop, man. We need to spar more. Also, what else we got going on right now in the goings on, TEDDRA?
Well, Young Thug releases 2 albums, Hendrix, and the other one's Future.
Was that Young Thug or was that?
Oop,
yeah,
Future.
We got to stop letting TEDDRA drink before the show.
You know what? Stop giving me Hennessy for the Lolo, and I will stop drinking before the show.
Well, listen, that was your fault. You agreed to getting paid in Hennessy. Anyway, so Future released 2 albums this week. I mean, within the last 2 weeks.
See. Future released 2 albums last 2 weeks, and both albums are now number 1 and number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. list, which is amazing.
Amazing.
That's
yeah.
great and good job. For
He
Future.
did decent numbers too. I think he did like 140 for the first one and 121,000.
Right.
Future's out here making the moves, and he's proven like on actual like record that he's actually people want to hear from him. So that's tight.
Yeah, I was surprised the second one wasn't watered down from a sales standpoint. Like
Yeah.
141 to 21 is still pretty strong. It wasn't like 141 to like 60.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And Future's one of those cats that don't seem to really go away. So he could drop 2 albums back to back and people still stream him enough to like get album credit.
I did
that shows his weight. That shows his weight.
He's the first person to do something like that, or the first artist to drop something like that since 1968, where you hold the #1 and the #2 spot on the Billboard charts. But he's also the first solo artist to ever do that. So that's big ups to him, because I honestly did not think he had the talent, ability to do something like that. I'm just going to be completely honest. I think Future is completely overrated. But that's just me. That's just I think he's good for a hook. I think he's good for a verse every 6 albums or so, but I didn't think that 2 albums back to back would be able to hold their own on the Billboard charts.
Well, the Billboard charts don't lie, and apparently he's not that overrated if he has #1, #2 spot.
You look like a Future fan.
I am a Future fan.
Yeah,
Plus, he's beautiful, so I mean,
we're in the melody era too, though, man. He's still great at melody. His hooks are still crazy. You know what I'm saying? He knows exactly what his audience wants to hear. He gives them that. Like, you listen to Future, that's all the trap Future you might ever need in the rest of your life.
Right?
Everything you heard before was maybe some new words on it.
Yeah.
You
You know who else goes about life that way? Crack dealers. They know exactly what their clients want, and they make the crack just like that. They bag it up, an easy to open thing, because they know a lot of crackheads don't have teeth. So I feel like, if we're going to give him props like that, then we should give crack dealers props too. I'm not saying that Future is not a good artist. I just saying I didn't think that he was. I think he's overrated.
Are you saying his music ruins lives like crack? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am. You got a lot of guys who should be taking their money home to their wives and kids, and they going to the strip club to throw up the music to Future. Now, don't get me wrong. March Madness. Listen, I want that played at my funeral.
Right.
Okay, March Madness is one of the dopest tracks that Future has ever created, but I definitely feel like it might be a little overrated.
Well, if we're talking about overrated, let's get into the subject that we're talking about today. Is Tupac one of the most overrated rappers of all time? I'm going to say yes, only because I feel like Tupac as a man and as a visionary, as a revolutionary, as a person, as even like a big brother who raised a lot of my generation. We respect him as a person, but like, I don't get the same feeling I get when I listen to his interviews than I do listen to his music. And I felt that kind of overshadows him being a revolutionary overshadowed the fact that he wasn't the greatest rapper to me of all time. And does he? Yes, he does have. He has great hooks. He has great diss records. He has great tracks. But a lot of people have great tracks.
You know what?
Doesn't make him the greatest rapper of all time.
I honestly feel like we need to get you tested, because the shit that you talk shit like a person who's eaten paint before, and I think we need to get you tested for lead, because you cannot sit up here and disrespect one of the gods of hip-hop, and I mean that in the sense of one of the most influential rappers that has ever touched a motherfucking microphone before, TEDDRA, okay? And you being from that Bay Area, I think it's blasphemous. I think it's blasphemous that you would even let those words come out in a sentence formed in that type of structure.
How is it blasphemous when I still think first of all, he learned thug life from the Bay. Mm-hmm. So let's get that straight. Okay. I respect Tupac. I love Tupac. Don't get it twisted. But I'm not going to sit here and lie or feel like I need to, just because the public opinion is, he's the greatest rapper of all time.
You know what?
I don't agree.
I don't know how you can say he's not like a great rapper though. Like,
I think he's a great rapper, but I do think it's overrated.
All right. Hit him up in Against All Odds, right? Two of the greatest diss tracks ever. He doesn't lose on the track when he's on guest appearances, when he has other people on his song. Notorious Thugs, Tupac Cut Through the Noise. Those cats were flowing a million miles an hour, sounding like Future, Justin Timberlake before Justin Timberlake even came out. That's where he got his whole style from. You look at tracks he did with Method Man and Redman. Like, no matter if he was on a track by himself or with other people, whether he's talking about revolutionary things or if he's telling you a story, that's range. That's the hardest thing to find with an MC is range. We sat here just talking about Future, because Future might not have as much range as we think he should. Tupac's the epitome of it.
Right. Not only that, before we even get to the lyrical ability, let's highlight the thing that we are not addressing, the elephant in the room. Tupac made a nose ring cool. No other rapper could do that shit. No other rapper could do it. To this, do you remember when Lil Wayne got the piercing right here?
Oh, yeah,
and
that was
all
terrible.
the gay accusations coming from a lip piercing. Tupac did that shit 20 years prior. Tupac was in a bathtub with gold covering up his genitalia with his legs in the air, like he was about to give birth.
I thought it was because Wayne had a picture of him kissing Baby on the mouth.
Oh, well, I mean, that
was a lot of stuff about Lil Wayne
that
that Lil Wayne was doing. I don't want to interrupt you, but there was a lot of stuff Lil Wayne was doing outside the lip piercing.
But the piercing got the most flack, and I didn't think that was nothing. I thought that, he got tattoos, he got eyebrow piercing. I didn't think the lip thing was a whole lot.
I had the same lip piercing.
Man on the mouth, and I think that's the one that got the biggest flack. So, I mean, nothing wrong with it.
I will say that was amazing how he bounced back for that.
Right.
To come under that type of fire, because that ruined Chingy's career.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Chingy being in the car
real quick
with that transgender, that ruined his career.
Right.
Absolutely ruined it.
That's funny.
I don't know, man. I feel like Pac is one of those people who, and I hear what you're trying to say, TEDDRA. I mean, it's still ridiculous as hell, but I think that you were trying to say that the feeling and motivation that Tupac gives people doesn't transfer over to his music, and I think that's just fucking ridiculous because it definitely did, because it motivated an entire coast to beef with an entire another coast in the same country.
Right.
Like, that's some crazy shit. When you motivate an entire and nobody was doing it. Nobody was picking up guns for MC8 or Spice One or E40. Now E40 had the power. Like, I heard that he could have called the green light on Biggie to get shot, but he didn't motivate a whole coast to say fuck New York.
Right.
No disrespect, New York, but Tupac did that.
But Tupac as a man did that.
No,
not
as
Tupac
a
as a rapper. Tupac as a man.
As a
did
rapper,
that.
did that.
Tupac has schools who just have classes that dissect his lyrics,
Right.
away from his speeches and away
Right.
from his interviews. Like, his actual lyrics. Like, he'll say stuff like, "We're probably in hell already. Our dumb asses not knowing. Everybody kissing ass, thinking they're going to heaven, ain't going." Like, these are new thoughts to hear on wax. What good is rap if we can't uplift or enlighten or make people think new things? Tupac did that like every track, and
every track, TEDDRA.
Every track.
Every track.
Single
something
track.
the Future has never done. He's never
Every
uplifted
track.
anything but lean, codeine, and strippers. Okay, so just think about that. You're in the corner. You're on timeout for the next 3 minutes. Justin, who would you say? Who's a rapper that you would say is overrated?
Drake. Drake's overrated.
Wow.
Drake is absolutely overrated.
Wow.
Israel Franco actually said Drake and Lil Wayne are the most overrated rappers ever.
And Lil Wayne? Who said that?
And Lil Wayne. Israel Franco.
I'll give Drake more overrated than Lil Wayne, just because Lil Wayne will actually talk about things other than himself sometimes. Like Wayne will talk about Georgia Bush. He'll talk about like a hurricane or politics or maybe a story that has something to do with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Drake is just telling you about his life, who he ate lunch with, which girl's phone he's going in, which haters he's hated on or he shitted on, and it comes right back to him all the time.
So you mad? You mad, Justin? You mad because you didn't have to get to have lunch? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
You're just mad because you messing up with his light-skinned brother-in-law.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he like, no, Team Light Skin, stop.
We're going to bring this shit up in the Light Skin Coalition meeting that we having this weekend. We're going to talk about HipHopDX, man. It's on the no-flight lights now.
I agree with you. I think Drake is also overrated. I mean, he has his own little genre, which is cool. But as like a lyricist, as a rapper in the game of hip-hop rap, absolutely.
Well, I mean, even on the sales, right? He's in probably one of the most sales-friendly era if you are a major label artist, right? Like right now, 1,500 plays on one song counts as an album. He doesn't have a great body of work when it comes to albums. Like, people like his first mixtape, and then everything else is kind of spotty on the quality of that album.
So he
has like 4 or 5 songs that carry the entire sales for his projects. Like Views, people play like 4 or 5 songs on Views, and they get credit for the albums.
Hello, bullshit? Yes. We have Justin here, and I think he's trying to get in contact. Is it okay if I pass him your number? Okay, great. Thanks. I'm going to send it to you because I call bullshit.
So you liked Views, then.
I didn't. Here's the thing. I don't think Views was the best album. By far, I will never say that. However, I will say that his body of work, you would fuck with 80% of the body of work than you would on something. Yeah, 80% of his album, I would say, on an album, 80% of the album is good. Would you disagree that?
Yeah.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
bigger issue is Drake is a top, quote-unquote, top rapper of this generation.
Right.
You put him up against a top rapper of any other generation, he has the least quality collection of albums of anybody else, and it's easier for him to notch sales against them.
Okay, let me say this.
Because he's
let
like
me
rap
say this.
light. He's like friendly rap.
Neighborhood
rap.
Let me go on the record for saying this. You can't get mad at someone's businesses versus their talent. Drake is because here's the thing. Kevin Hart, some people might say that Kevin Hart's not the funniest comedian ever to do it. However, he's one of the biggest. You don't see him taking stands on a lot of the issues that we dealt with last year. However, he's still one of the best-selling artists who ever done it. He's, as far as I know, the only comedian to have a tennis shoe with Nike. Only one.
But you can't say look at the business and separate it from the artist when Future just was top 2 on the Billboard 100 charts. And you said it was trash.
Wait, I can't.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he sold these records. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen. How difficult is it to sell a record? Chief Keef sold records off of one single.
No, it's not easy. You just got to get one song people like 1,500 times. That's a record.
But here's my thing. This is what I'm saying,
though.
You
stream it.
Here's the quality of music that Drake gives us. Like, Take Care. Tell me 80% of Take Care wasn't a banger.
Absolutely.
That's his best project.
That's his best project.
Nothing was the same. 80% of Nothing Was the Same was a banger.
Nope.
Really?
40%. You got started from the bottom.
You
now we
here.
here.
Just said, I'm going to
305 in my city, which is
tight. You woke up this morning and said,
cool.
I'm not going to agree with anything that makes sense. That's what you did.
Tuscan Leather was, I'm sorry, I hated it.
Nope, don't need it.
Tuscan Leather wasn't
good? I didn't like it. No, I didn't. Because he was trying too hard to sound like Jay-Z because Jay-Z was on the record and you could hear it. You wasn't being yourself. When I first heard the record, I was like, why are you trying to sound like Jay-Z? And then Jay-Z popped in the record. I was like, oh, okay. You trying to be like, oh, look. Like you like Kanye trying to get his chain. He was like, oh, I could be just like you. I could be just like you.
You know
and can Drake tell a story, please? Can he take me someplace other than in his emotional being?
You know what?
That's that life shit.
Does
To
he
hear about
have
your
a
emotions.
third-person
Don't do that to
perspective?
hear about to get his emotions.
I thought we were going to click because reading your bio, I felt that was something there. But now I'm really disturbed right now. Let me say, I think one of the reasons why a lot of people like Drake, but they won't admit it, is because he talks about the stuff that we wish we could address, but because we're so masculine in this Western civilization, we feel that it's possible that we can do it. Like Drake, Marvin's Room ain't shit, but what we go through it all the time. You've been drunk before and called an ex, like, man, you still fucking with that nigga.
You're absolutely right
about it. He talks about, and it's nothing wrong with being verbal. And I think that the fact that we say that he's so emotional enough, it just highlights the problem that we have with masculinity in this country. As a boy, we're not taught to hug and talk about our communication is the last thing that you taught. If you get hurt as a kid and you're a boy, you're told to get up. Don't cry. You're a big boy. Don't hurt yourself.
No, we're not getting Oprah in this.
Don't discredit my light-skinned homie. Well, it's like that. Everybody catch a face on sight.
Well, I don't think that's the reason why he's overrated. I think that's a pro for Drake. I think that's one of the realest things ever when he said he going through this chick's phone because he don't trust her. I got a lot of homies who be going through their girl's phone because they don't trust them. The problem is that's the only thing he does. Like, he doesn't do anything else. He doesn't Pac can get political and honest. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West at least could tell you a story about Chicago and it's about a girlfriend and it's really about Chicago.
I want to make a correction. Pound cake.
Other people can do things.
I want to make a correction. It was Pound Cake that Drake was on. It wasn't Tuscan Leather. It was Pound Cake.
Yeah. Tuscan Leather was the beginning track on it. That lets me know you're not a real fan, so I shouldn't even respect your opinion at all.
Zeal Lovewell said Jay is overrated. Kendrick, and Sarah Lopez said Kendrick and Eminem are both overrated rappers.
Who said that, Sarah?
Her name is Sarah, yes.
Sarah, this is what I want you to do because I respect your opinion. I want you to go inside your bathroom. I want you to open the cabinet underneath your sink. I want you to go back in the kitchen, get a glass full of ice. I want you to go back in the bathroom. I want you to get the Fabuloso, pour it to the top of that ice glass right there, and I want you to drink it and do jumping jacks and take a nap. Okay? That's what you could do if you think that about Kendrick and Eminem. That's what you could do. Facts.
Okay.
Not up for debate, fam.
Area Cole said, it's gone already.
I understand. Listen, everybody's going to have their opinion about a lyricist. And what I was saying to Drake's defense about the ability to sell and being able to be a good businessman, when I think about a rapper and an artist, I'm taking everything into consideration, not just the lyrical ability or the talent or things of that nature. I'm also taking to album sales. I'm looking at how able they are to transfer over to other platforms and genres of music. Now, I'll be the first to say I'm not a huge fan of hip hop and pop music that just tries to blend rap music to get sales and everything. But the fact that a person can do it is impressive. Like the fact that not Cha-Cha, no shade.
Hotline
but
Bling.
Hotline Bling.
Shade. All shade. He stole the record and it's okay.
No shade. No.
He stole the record. That's okay.
But the fact that was like Z107 is always, no matter what area you live in, Z107 is always a pop artist channel, and you never get really rap played on those channels. But the fact that Drake, you could turn on the radio last summer, you could turn on the radio and hear 4 different songs on 4 different radio stations. You could turn to a reggae station and you could hear a Drake song. You could turn to a pop station to hear a Drake song. You could turn to the newest hip hop, and you could turn to real hip hop and you could hear a Drake song. So that's to say a lot about Drake.
Justin, I want to ask you something, because in the comments I keep seeing Jay-Z is overrated, Jay-Z is overrated. Jay-Z. How do you feel about that comment?
Shit!
I don't.
Bullshit. Because I don't think
he's overrated at all. I mean, look. I mean, he's got 3 of the most acclaimed albums in rap. He's got Reasonable Doubt. He's got the Black Album. Been in battles. He's seen him have a million different styles. He's had tongue twister styles. He's evolved over the course of his career. Now, the last 10 years of Jay-Z's music.
Oh my God, Holy Grail.
Pretty terrible.
Can we speak on Holy Grail? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Let's get. Wait. I want it to be completely silent so we can give you an amazing platform for you to kill yourself. Go ahead.
I liked Holy Grail, but let me tell you why. Because I'm a really big Kanye fan. Most of the tracks are produced by Kanye, and some tracks are produced by Pharrell. I liked the beats. The lyrics were, so-so. They were okay. But I liked it because I could work out to it. I don't know if anybody else worked out to any of the...
Are you sure you're talking about the right album? Because
yeah,
most of
Magna Carta, Holy Grail, right?
Most of them Holy Grail was produced by Timbaland.
I thought it was somebody's trying to be like...
It might have been
well, I love Timbaland too. She ain't saying difference. God damn it, look. I like Timbaland too.
Okay, well, I just want to say that album was trash. Jay, no disrespect, but that album was ass. Okay, it was cigarette water and sweat ass all together, and a picture of unsweetened Kool-Aid. That's what it was. It was ass. Justin, you tell the truth. What do you think about Holy Grail, man?
I just feel about Holy Grail.
I haven't listened to it since.
You gotta break the tie.
It came out, man.
But that says a lot, though.
It's not a good album.
If you haven't listened to it since it came out, that says a lot.
Actually, I haven't.
I don't know what he's talking about on Twerk Miley. I don't know what he's talking about on that album.
He don't know what he's talking about.
He's just talking out loud.
Jay-Z went to Twitter and looked up all the hashtags. He's like, I'm making songs about all of this shit.
That's what it sounds like. That's absolutely what it sounds like. He's like, you know what? This will sound good on a free phone. You know what I'm saying? This will sound good on a Samsung.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and just sell this. This is available.
A million before the album dropped.
It doesn't sound like he put thought into it.
That's the only place it should have been. It should have only been available on the Samsung. With the masses should have never been able to get that, because I feel like it tainted my image of it.
It's funny when people talk about Nas and Jay-Z, the battle. Nas has that line, Jay-Z has that line against Nas where he says one hot album every 10-year average. That's kind of like where Jay-Z is now. His last album was American Gangster. It was probably his last great album.
Yeah.
A young woman named Timona said Big Pun is the GOAT and the best to ever do it.
Okay, Timona, we're going to put a pin in that because I want to ask Justin one more question before we go. But I want to address that because I absolutely agree somewhat with that. When should Jay stop rapping? Or should he now? Should he just be producing? Should he go back to Def Jam?
I don't think he should ever stop rapping.
Okay.
You know, look, as long as he has people who care about seeing him perform, people still like his music, keep doing it. Now, I don't think necessarily you need to be talking about the accomplishments you had in high school, because that's about what's going to happen if you keep putting out albums that people don't like now. You'll be talking about everything you did like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe you could just change your content, tell more stories, or do something interesting, be uplifting. You don't have to remind everybody how you feel like you're the best of all these other off of your business acumen.
We know you so crack. And this is the one thing I don't like about Jay-Z. Nigga, you are 65 years old. Stop telling people you 44.
Okay.
Stop. We know how old you are.
You're just being a hater now.
You've been an 80.
Because you 65 years old too. Stop it.
You know what? I feel like the bun on your hair is hiding the weapon, so I'm going to let you have that. Nobody frisked her when she came in here.
But Jay-Z is older than you.
I feel like Jay should definitely think about, maybe coming out with the last album, but he can always, do features. He can always tour. That's what Snoop do. Snoop putting out albums, but ain't nobody really buying them albums. Ain't nobody checking for a Snoop album. We respect it. We get it. Yeah. We get it because he's an OG, but
Bush
was
actually
a lot of money.
Bush is underrated though. The album he did with Pharrell, that Bush project, that was a good project.
That was a good project. He does well when he does something out of the ordinary though.
Yeah.
He did that with Bush, and then the one with sexual eruption.
Oh, that's my joint.
Was that Rhythm and... I can't remember which one.
Yeah, but that was a decent album too. So when he's experimental, Snoop can actually win sometimes.
And Kool-Aid wasn't bad, to be honest with you. Like I'm not mad at Snoop's music, you know. Yeah. And I think he's doing it the right way. He still has interesting things to say. He don't have to be self-aggrandizing all day long, just reminding people how much he has accomplished and everything that he's bought.
That's what it really is, though. Like, because Snoop doesn't try to reign over any titles, anything. He just stays in his lane. I think that's why people still respect him and still buy the albums, is because it's a Snoop album. He gonna be kicking some funky shit. Right. Whereas Jay is like, if you still trying to hold on to the title as the greatest of all times, and you putting out albums that are mediocre as fuck.
Well, Jace just talks about what he bought, and that's boring.
Yeah,
like I don't need to hear about your Hugh Blows and your art pieces. Like,
even though I love Basquiat,
teach me something, Jay. Let me.
Well, that's what he's trying to teach you.
Teach me what? That you
can't afford a Hugh Blow art.
Right. Okay.
I'm trying to teach you that I'm rich.
Yo, show me something interesting.
He's trying to teach you that.
I got Google too, Jay. I can figure out what the expensive stuff looks like. I don't need you to tell me about it.
Let's go back to that comment real quick about Big Pun, because I definitely feel like Big Pun was ahead of it. First of all, I don't know if you saw the picture of Big Pun before he passed. Did you see the picture when he was really small? Before he got big?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture.
Like
This back when he was a bodyguard.
Super small, man. I don't know where it went wrong. Like, maybe he got introduced to, like, stuffed crust cheese pizza or something. It was like, yo, every day for 10 years, this is it right here. Whatever it was. But I feel like he definitely isn't given the respect and the acclaim that he deserves, because Big Pun was definitely one of the dopest to ever do it.
Yeah, I mean, his first project, Capital Punishment, is it's a lyrical onslaught, man.
Yeah.
Plus, he had like Wyclef on it and Black Thought on it. You know what I mean? He had a quotables for days on there. I'm not a player. I still crush a lot. Still works. Man. You know, like Dead in the Middle of Little Italy. That whole thing, it's just a tour de force of incredible lyricism and dope rhymes. You know, I think. It's a travesty that he passed away so soon. I wish we had a chance to see more from him.
At least one more album.
Limitless potential. Well, we got another album after that.
But
we didn't like it as much. We didn't like it as much.
Anyone that comes out afterwards, you're going to get a little bit of the stuff that he never really wanted to come out. Let me ask you real quick. Who do you think is possibly the most underrated rapper right now?
Underrated rapper right now? I think,
or just an underrated rapper that people might have slept on.
I think Ab-Soul's underrated, man. Like, of everybody that's in TDE, I think Kendrick and Schoolboy are deserving of the props they get. Right. Ab-Soul low-key puts together some really good projects. I think he's one of the most forward-thinking rappers you're going to hear right now, in terms of, talking about things that are really going on that affect all of us.
Yeah.
We're in a brand new administration, a brand new view on the world, and Ab-Soul has been more consistent, I think, than people give him credit for on just saying real stuff and being relentless about it.
I feel like Ab-Soul is definitely underrated. The last project, though, I don't know, it didn't really sell me on it as much. And I also feel like the consistency has been, and I don't know what the holdup was with this last album and then maybe the project before that, but it did get kind of lagging. Like, I was like, yo, when is it going to drop? And for a minute, he was just associated with TDE. He wasn't really on TDE. It was a lot of back and forth with that. But I will say that he is definitely underrated and definitely doesn't get the props that he may necessarily deserve on that. So I'll agree with you.
Especially the These Days project. Like, there's a track on there on the These Days project where he raps from the perspective of 7 different black men, and then Rick Ross is on it, and that's the 8th.
Yeah.
Like, who's thinking about doing tracks like that? You know what I mean?
Crazy.
He has a battle at the end of that album. He battles Daylight on some real battle rap, no beat, back and forth, smack DVD ready battle. Like, who is doing that on a commercial project?
Black lip hippie.
Those things need to be, praised and exalted more when they happen.
Let me ask you real quick, Lil Dicky.
Okay.
Did you listen to the album?
I've listened to Lil Dicky, yeah.
What did you think of it?
I think he can rap. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think he's got a ready-made fan base. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. Not my kind of music, I'll be honest. Like, I get lost in the shtick, it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like a shtick. Not saying that it is one. 'Cause
Right.
I know he takes himself extremely seriously as an MC, and he should because he's dope.
Yeah.
Not really kind of my music.
I like the album. I like what he did with the one when it was him and the girl in his brain were talking.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was pretty dope.
Yeah, he's creative.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a comedian. He's got that. That's his home base. That's his zero. So like, he's got an interesting perspective on the world. I'm not mad he's around.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of these comments. We have Mike Jennings. They said Hobson. I keep seeing Papoose come up on these comments. How do you guys feel about Papoose? Because Papoose is a fire rapper who hasn't got a lot of recognition that he should have. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's his face. I think it's Papoose' face that's holding him back. He should go the MF Doom route and just do it with the mask over his face. But I definitely think his face has something to do with his lack of fame, though. Not taking anything away from the talent.
Probably
He's very talented.
probably his name too. Like I think the campaign when he first came out was "What the fuck's a papoose?"
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that you can't
so
sell
Sounds
your
like an Ice
brand
Age
by
character.
saying "What is this?" My
Yeah.
generation. I don't know how you do it. Pap is an incredible rapper.
Yeah.
though.
Yes.
Like, and
Absolutely.
especially stuff that he was doing with like the Law Library series, where he was actually educating cats in jail on how to navigate their way through the legal system.
People don't
you
know.
what I mean?
Preach.
Narsarima Dream was, I think, better than I expected to be, given the delay that it had around that project. And I think his voice is dope on the track, too. I don't know how great of a songwriter he is, and I think that's
Right.
really the line between whether someone gets props or they don't get props.
Yeah.
How great are you at writing songs? But he's a
Right.
great rapper.
I'm going to say this, I may be showing my age or whatever, but I don't think Big Sean gets enough credit for he's a really, really, really great MC. And I think he should be up there selling records just like Drake, up there selling records just like all these top artists, because his bodies of work are amazing. His albums are dope, front to back, back to front. They're great projects, so I think he's definitely underrated.
Dark Sky Paradise was great.
Beautiful record.
That's a great
I
project.
think low key that was his best.
That
His
was his
last
best
album
one.
was cool.
High key,
but
that's his best project. Like,
Yeah,
that's
High
probably-
Key.
that's definitely his best
That's
project.
his
I
best
mean,
one.
outside of like, I really like the Finally Famous mixtape series that he was doing.
Yes.
Like, Finally Famous, like that's the Sean that I thought we were gonna get when the album dropped. Like when the first album dropped, I was highly disappointed, and I was like, they got him. Like it happened to Drake. When Drake's first album dropped, I was like,
I did not like Thank You Later.
I didn't like it. It wasn't. It didn't really sell me on it.
Not after So Far Gone. Like
Yeah,
So Far Gone
come
was
on.
so dope, and then he
Right.
has Thank Me Later. I was like, really,
Did that
really,
same thing.
Yeah.
fireworks.
I know. I haven't thanked him yet.
Yeah. Audience, real quick, I want to know what the audience thinks, man. Who do you think is overrated, underrated? Go ahead and throw it in the comments, and we're going to shout some of y'all out as we keep it going. But, yeah, man, Big Sean definitely, shout out to him. Dark Sky's Paradise was by far, I agree, his best piece of work altogether. And it was like, it told a story. It came full circle. I like the stuff that he did with Janae on the album, too.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
2088, I felt like could have been a little better, but I mean, that felt like a passion project. It was like,
Well,
hey,
it
we
was
got
like
$75,000 to waste.
It was like a low budget version if Andre and Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu did a record, but like a really low, like you couldn't afford it. So it's like, we can get Big Sean and Janae Aiko though.
Yeah.
That's how I felt like the track.
$75,000 a waste.
Hey.
Let's do this, man. All right, so moving forward, because you mentioned Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu, it got me thinking real quick. Who are our next icons? Who is this? Who is the? I mean, and not to take anything away from Chance, but we know where he's going. We saw that with the
Grammys.
Well, that, but also with Acid Rap. I felt like Acid Rap just kind of like, yo, this kid is different right here.
Yeah,
You know,
he was
like,
rapping about cigarettes and how great they are.
Yeah. Like I mean,
Nobody
like,
likes
Kisses.
cigarettes no more.
Yeah.
Nobody likes cigarettes. Chance likes cigarettes. He's different.
This kid, I like him.
It's a great
He likes
project.
Newports.
Great
But I mean,
project.
just from like 10 until Acid Rap, you saw the growth.
Yeah.
And then from into Coloring Book, which is basically like low key executive produced by Kirk Franklin and Donny Hathaway.
Yeah. It felt
And
like
Reverend
what
Shirley Caesar.
Yeah,
that
we
felt
think-
like what Pablo was supposed to be to me.
Yeah, I mean,
you
but
know?
you can tell
Speak on it.
what influenced Pablo now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you couldn't before, Kanye steals all his artist music. I said it, guys. I said it. All right?
like Drake.
Kanye
Drake
just
does that,
did
just like
what
Drake.
Jay-Z
I mean, he
did.
did it. He did it with Travis Scott. He did it
Right.
with Chance. You're gonna see that. He did it with Designer. He basically put Panda on there before we knew what Panda was.
Yes,
really
but that
smart
was the
thing.
best
That was
thing
a
he
smart
could have
thing.
done for Designer. The
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the best thing he could have
great.
done for his pockets. Let me put your hot ass song on my album. I'm gonna make everybody know it's a hot ass song. I'm gonna get paid for my album and your hot ass song. Welcome to good music.
The rest of the song is kind of trash. It's just that I got bras in Atlanta.
It was the best part of his song. The best part of Kanye's song.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the best part of the song. Period. Because the song itself is it's cool, but on the Kanye track, it was just made it great.
I think Panda was an amazing song.
I think it wins both places. Yeah. You know, like he signed the dude, so that's
he signed the dude, so he got his check.
He got a remix without having to call it a remix for his album. That's one of the more original moments on that project, in my opinion. I think Chance is. We know where he's going. I think he's probably already there at this point, especially his journey is so different. Yeah. If people look at him as an independent artist, I think he is to some degree. I think Apple's a very big company, and if we're not thinking about Apple supporting his project as a major reason why he's seen his acclaim, I don't think we're probably looking at that correctly if we're not doing that. That doesn't take away from the genius of that project or that album. I think we know where Kendrick's going. I think we know where J. Cole is going. Right. I think we see these guys and we get really happy about it. I'm telling y'all, man, I don't think anybody's going to like this. And
Wait a second. Let me put my finger. I got a new toy, by the way, guys. I got a soundboard, so I've been coming over here and just saying, pressing little things. So let me get my hand ready. I'm gonna get one on the good one and then on the bad one too.
I don't think people are gonna hip hop purists, especially. Mm-hmm. Young Thug is gonna be that icon. He's gonna be an icon going forward, man. And I say it because we just saw it happen with Lil Wayne. We saw what Lil Wayne was. And then all of a sudden, people looked at Lil Wayne like he was an icon. He's on a similar track to what Future just did. Future just went through the same thing, similar image, similar sounds. Now, Young Thug's putting on dresses. Now people looking at him differently. Now more people talk about they like Young Thug songs. And we already see the Young Thug clones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We see cats like King and them running around. Yeah. We see the clones coming already.
Hold on one second. Let me dial them in too. Okay, we both here.
Young Thug is going to end up there, and we're going like it.
Okay. Right. Hey, bullshit, and you got me fucked up. You guys both on the line? Okay, yeah. I got somebody here. I think he's been trying to get your number. Is it okay if I give him both of you all's number? Are you serious? Okay. You know what?
Man. Listen, he's going to get there.
No, fuck. He's going to be the counter. I will admit that Young Thug has somewhat of a Prince allure. All right, like the way Prince was out, Prince was wearing high heels and gauchos and crop tops, and nobody called bullshit. We should have, or they should have. My mom should have called bullshit, okay? But they didn't because, I don't know, maybe because he was light-skinned and he had a feathered bob. Whatever the point was, the case was, they should have called bullshit, and I feel like Young Thug could be that, but I'm calling bullshit, okay? I think that he definitely has a niche. But you don't know. I haven't known too many niche rappers to last more than 10 years.
I'm going to ask this question to all the Young Thug fans on our Facebook page. If he's the best rapper of your generation of all time to you, name one lyric that changed your life.
We'll wait.
I'm going to read, too. One lyric that changed your life from Young Thug. He was like, no, that speaks to me, bro, like in my soul.
You know what? I'm only going on record for saying that one lyric that really changed my life was that was the one. That shit. Right. After that one, I was like, all right, well, we're lost.
Everybody got a lifestyle.
There's someone we haven't mentioned this whole conversation is Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
And I think he is going to be one of the greatest artists of our generation. Not just a rapper, just an artist, period. He's superb. He knows how to mix music, and I just love him.
I think he's already there.
Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't mention him because, for the mixtapes first, what was it? Camp. But it was, I was like, what was the other one with, I can't even remember right now. It's going to come to me afterwards, but I think Childish Gambino. Huh?
Which one?
No, it was before those. And it might have been something. No, it wasn't because of the internet. It was like, man, this came out, I want to say maybe like 6 years ago. But the one Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
That one. I think he showed one right there, his lyrical. I remember I put my homeboy Clayton Thomas on. Shout out to him.
Clayton Thomas, whoop whoop.
Put him on to Childish Gambino. I put him on the Freaks and Geeks, and he would not let me not put the song on repeat for at least 17 times. Yeah. And when you come across an artist that can make you do that, like you hear one track, you get stuck on it, but you can't even listen to the rest of the project, but you just stuck on this one, you're so amazing. You go to the next project, the next song, and you're like, oh my God, this is equally as good. Like, how have I never heard of him? Yeah. So it was amazing to see the growth. And I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't really like I don't think I liked it because of the internet as much as I liked a lot of the mixtapes. But that happens to me with a lot of artists. Like when it goes to the albums,
people have one album that
it's
not that great. Everybody has that one album that's just not as great as this other stuff. So.
A good friend of mine, Carl Cherry, he wrote an article comparing Childish Gambino to Mos Def, saying Gambino is what Mos Def should have been. Meaning, you look at the success he's having in film, on television, producing, but also still on the music side, even on the experimental side of music. Now he's doing funk. He actually sounded like a funk singer on his last joint.
Bootsy Collins. I was like, oh, look, Bootsy Collins got a joint. I was like, this is Childish Gambino.
He went and took lessons to learn how to scream right.
Listen.
He cares, man.
He cares. Childish Gambino cares about the culture, guys. He cares about the culture.
You brought that up, man, because he not only does he cares, he took a chance on that. Like, he did something that most people would wait till they get to Kanye's level to do. When Kanye did that with Yeezus, I feel like Yeezus was a very experimental album. It was very influenced by Eastern culture and the sounds that they play in the clubs over in London and things like that. And for him to take that type of chance, like fresh off the success off of Atlanta and things like that, that could have ruined it. It could have ruined it. But I think it came from a very true place. He said he wanted to make an album that reminded him of the feeling he got when he listened to music with his dad. And I think that album I can't even, like, sonically, I can't listen to the album without, like, a smoking robe on and smoking a cigar and I got white Hennessy and a cognac glass. That's just China robe.
Right.
Yeah, I can't play the music while my daughter's awake because I ain't gonna have no shirt or no pants on. Like, it's gonna, it's just a real album, man. It's a grown-up album, man. Listen, I usually listen to it with a suit when I'm driving. That's just how, and I think it was amazing that he took that route and stay true to the theme the entire time. Didn't put rap on there like, all right, I'm going to do this one track with rap on there. He stayed true to it the entire time, and that says a lot about the artistry, too. Yeah. So I respect Childish Gambino for that right there. That was huge, man.
He's in the zone right now.
Yeah, he really is. And I feel like I wish he would ride it. Like, when he did that performance, was it on Kimmel? When he had no shirt on and no shoes on? I think he did, because he did the lead single track off the album. He did a performance of it like with some red pants on with no shoes and no shirt and just like a chain and killed it. And I feel like he could really ride. Like, this is his Marvin Gaye phase. Yeah. He should do all like straight leg jeans and boots and chains and fur coats. But instead,
open chest shirts.
And look how quickly he was able to evolve. You know what I mean? Like, he was really rapping in the beginning, and we've seen him get all the way over to a Marvin Gaye phase in 5 years? Like, that's wild fast, and he did it wild independent too.
And he did it like gracefully. Like, it didn't feel like it was forced down our throat. He didn't have to have a ton of features to like solidify and verify he is who he say he is. I like the fact that he just kind of did it on his own. I think that says a lot about him altogether. Like, when you look at a little bio about him, he's always been into the arts. He's always kind of done his own thing, even if other people thought it was weird. Like, some people said he was weird on Community, but he did his thing. Like, in the sense, like, just out of place black guy on that white show. Right. But I think that's really who he is. Yeah. Like, he's not afraid to blur the lines and cross the barriers, and I think that's the type of artist I look for. Somebody that's not afraid to try things and push that line sonically, and that's definitely what we got with him.
And I like it when he talks shit about Drake. That's one of my favorite things watching him do.
You would, Justin. You would like that.
Got to support my dark-skinned brothers.
Hey, man. You know what? Listen, guys. The Drake hate's not going to get you anywhere, okay? You're trying to deny it. It's inevitable. You're going to like a Drake song. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to, even Funk Flex, as much as he hates Drake, he got to have some Drake songs that you like. You cannot not like Drake, bro.
Yeah. I like starting from the bottom. I do. I like Drake. I just think he's overrated.
I'm still overrated. Okay, all right. So we'll table that. But who do you think is that next hip hop icon? Do you have somebody in mind outside of Young Thug?
Outside of Young Thug,
because I just can't accept Young Thug as an answer right now. I know you gave that, and you meant that. You gave a lot of facts. You backed it up.
Actually,
but I need something else, man.
We're going to get there, and people are going to be like, man, I can't believe I like Young Thug. What's happening? No, I think Logic's got an incredibly bright future, too.
Yeah.
And I think he's built for success. Like, I think he's a great writer. I think all of his influences are coming from places that we already revere.
Yeah.
You know, he pulled a lot from Midnight Marauders on his last two projects ago.
Yeah.
And, he'll give you long, extended metaphors like Nicki. Like, these are things that fans love.
Nicki was a
Right.
Nicki
right.
was a
Right.
Nicki was the reason I stopped smoking cigarettes. Now I didn't smoke before, but I mean I'm just gonna use that as an excuse. But
so these are the type of things that build super fans.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you have to talk to other people who just like this artist and you're like, yo, did you catch this part? You know what I'm saying? Did you catch that? He has a lot of those. Plus, I think that he's a great songwriter too.
Yeah.
So he's probably overachieved from a sales standpoint, arguably, given the type of investment I think he's had, you know, looking on the back end. And the things he's about to do right now, I think he's going to be one of those cats that...
the only thing that worries me about Logic is he ain't got no bitches. Every good rapper has bitches, and Logic plays it safe, man. He's married. He goes to the studio. He goes to tour. He goes home. He said he don't hang out. And if you don't have at least one scandal, you ain't gonna make it in this business, man. He got to get a scandal. Him and Child got to get a scandal going on. Or we gonna forget about them in like 5 years, man. Logic, I love you, man. We want to have you on the show, but you gotta get some bitches. All right, you gotta have some. I can loan you 6, but I'm gonna need them back. You can get 6 of them for about 6 months, man. You gotta have some bitches in this game, because I mean that's just what sells. It's what sells.
Well, J. Cole don't have no more bitches, and he still sells.
Yeah, but J. Cole, every time he comes out, he always causes a controversy. Like, in last December of the previous project, he came out talking about white rappers. This time he started talking about mumble rappers and point fingers at Kanye West and Wale.
He did do that.
He forces friction first and then leaves it alone and starts talking about, you know, his relationships or like old 90s songs like Losing Your Virginity like Mace used to do.
Shout out to Cole, though. He pulled the best bait and switch of the 2000s, okay? He sold us on getting this Bentley, and then he gave us an extremely nice and extremely classy Camry with leathers and everything. But he told it, because when we got those tracks, Everybody Dies, and what was the other one?
Oh, God.
The one where he was on the bus and the one where he was on the back of the pickup truck.
I can't think of it.
False Prophets and Everybody Dies.
Yeah.
Yo, we was, I was like, I'm calling off work to get the album, fam. Now, granted, I could have just bought it on Apple, but I was like, yo, I'm calling off work. And then we got the album, and it was not.
And he was folding clothes.
It was not that. Yeah, you make me want to fold clothes, which what? Where? Ain't nobody dying.
Are they dead already?
That was bobbing up. Where's the eulogy? You know what I mean? But in the sense of what we were talking about with Childish Gambino, he stayed true to a theme of, you know, telling a story about, you know, some comrades from the city. Right. And I read the article. I forgot what site it was on. But he was basically saying one of the producers or maybe his manager was on saying that they came up with those songs before they even finished the project. Like, actually, those were like one of the first 5 songs that they did for the project. And once they finished it, they was like, it doesn't fit the theme. And it was hard to cut it from the project. But for the integrity of the project, they cut those 2 songs off of there. And I understand now why they did, but I still was like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
he's a great storyteller.
Yes.
I think Drake should probably, you know, sit with him.
Wow!
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
You know what?
Yo.
I'm going to actually agree with Justin. I'm like, I want to know about what's her name Paris on Peach Street, who got the new business and shit. I want to know.
You know what?
Nope. We get name drops.
I like,
we
you
don't
know
get
what I'm saying?
details.
No, you're not going to sit up here and say that he don't give you lyricism without the name drops, because then we would be talking about the game. But the thing I'm trying to...
You don't got a button for that?
Oh, did I? And I love the game. Shout out to the game. The last 2 projects, the documentary part 2 and
the documentary
2.5.
2 is a classic.
1992
Yo, shit was cracking. But dang, goddamn, man, you name drop, baby. You like. You can't go through one game song without him saying somebody else's name. I will bet money on it.
I mean, Jay Electronica name drops all the time.
Does Jay Electronica rap?
Yeah, every time we hear a song, all we hear about is Wu coming out the
is
Beehive.
a god MC.
Does he rap? Does he still rap?
Yes, he still raps.
I thought he was a janitor. I heard he was a janitor.
He was on Control. He was name dropping on Control.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, he did do that years ago when he hadn't come out with a project in so long. You know what? As far as bad and goes, you got RG3, who hurt himself, so, you know, it wasn't his fault. And then you got Jay Electronica. Worst investments that you could have ever did. Any company could ever do. Those are just horrible, man. And shout out to Jay Electronica, man. You welcome to come up here and defend yourself, but you know you've been on that bullshit. Don't let Erica tell you ain't got to put on no album. She got 8 albums. Get on her level.
I hope he's been living life. I hope he's in like Oxford learning some like
Right?
new equations.
He's in Africa.
He's about
Yeah,
to
that shit
try.
only matters if he gonna come up with a cure for cancer.
Right.
If not, nigga, get in the studio.
He gonna come back and show us how to teleport.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it.
That would be
It's all gonna be
right.
worth
That's
it.
the only way we'll give you a pass. Other than
It's
that,
like waiting for Jay Electronica to drop an album. It's like waiting for Lauryn Hill to show up on time.
boy,
It's not
Jesus.
gonna happen.
That's not
Listen,
gonna happen.
my God. And my homeboy is her road DJ, and I tell him all the time, like, yo, I'm in something. You want to come through, nigga? I don't have all night to wait for Lauren.
Right.
2.5
She come out at
hours.
3 o'clock a.m. She's like, come on, guys, put your hands together. Bitch, we sleep.
Right, and
We
I
got
know
sleeping bags on.
I know I'm not gonna like the rendition. It's not gonna sound like the album.
Nah, it's not. It's
So
not.
I'm waiting extra time for her to show up late and do a remix I didn't ask for.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rock with that. All right, real quick, man. We want to get to something called 10 questions, man. Okay. And we just want to get a little rapid fire going. I'm gonna ask you something, and just give me what you got off the top of your head. All right. So 10 questions starting right now. Let's get it going. Best site for hip hop news
HipHopDX.
or All Def Digital. Moving on. Best hip hop album of 2016.
Coloring book.
Coloring book. Ooh. Wait, I said hip hop, not contemporary gospel. You want to start with that? All right.
De La Soul and the Anonymous Nobody.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay.
Best sandwich spot in New York was popping.
I don't know. I saw this place on Facebook that had this cheese they melt right in front of you with this big little hot knife thing. So wherever that place is, I'm sure it's better.
Okay, well, you got to find out the name and let me know that one
Right.
right there. Most overrated clothing or shoe brand?
Popular Demand.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
Get
I
him.
rock with Popular Demand.
I like
dog.
the people
To
a
hear
whole
loves
lot.
Popular
I
Demand.
like the team over there. I think they're some of the nicest guys I've ever met. I just can't get down.
I rock
with
with
the designs,
Popular
man. I just
Demand.
can't do
Okay,
it.
all
I
right.
can't
Well, everybody's
do it.
entitled to
Can't
their
do it.
opinion, as misled as it may be. Best R&B album of 2016. What you got?
Anti.
Okay, hold on here. Rihanna. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, low key though, a
was a
lot
good
of
album.
people say that Rihanna had a much better album than
Rihanna's
Beyonce.
greater
Yeah.
producer on the album, and her voice sounded a lot better than the previous albums. I absolutely agree with you.
All right, cool. All
Her
right,
engineer's dope.
damn. Did this get shady in here, or is that just
Right.
TEDDRA? Who's going to have the best 2017?
Best 2017.
Besides Donald Trump.
Besides Donald Trump. Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, I think he's got another year.
You heard it here
He's got
first.
another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most iconic record label.
Def Jam.
Def Jam.
Yeah.
More so than Rockefeller.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, cool.
Definitely. Yeah,
I just,
yeah,
I had to
yeah,
throw it out
definitely.
there, man.
Definitely.
More so than Death Row?
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Just checking. Just
That
checking.
girl was scary as hell.
Right.
Intimidating, scary as hell. Like,
You know,
Best rap beef ever.
best rap beef ever. Biggie versus Nas. I mean, sorry, Jay-Z versus Nas.
Jay-Z versus
Yeah,
Nas.
Jay-Z,
Okay.
Biggie versus Tupac was like real beef. Like,
Yeah,
that
that
got
was-
shot.
Niggas
you know?
died.
That was,
Like,
that
niggas
was real
literally
beef.
died.
Like, rap
Yeah.
beef, Jay versus Nas.
As long as you didn't say the Game versus Stitches, then we was cool. That was the
That was the
bullshit.
That was the best.
Stitches showed up to the club to fight and got knocked out by
Got
somebody's
knocked
manager.
out.
How in the fuck does
Knocked
that
Hey,
happen?
but Whack
Wow.
100's with the shits.
Oh, yeah,
He
well,
is
yeah.
with-
Right.
This ain't no
It is.
regular schmegular manager. This nigga is with the shits.
Side note, though, I do want to say that whoever that Young Dolph is beefing with, that they shot at his vehicle 100 times, I ain't got no problems with you. I ain't got a bulletproof nothing. So whoever he beefing with, they need to play Uno and settle that. Best rap group ever.
Outkast.
Outkast.
Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, most overhyped album.
Most views. Easy.
Wow.
Views. Second.
You could not let the light skin hate go, huh?
Yeah,
That's what
I almost named the best R&B album.
Oh.
Almost did.
Damn.
It's a great R&B album.
You got sharing a shade bag over there? Is that
Shade.
Is
We're
that what-
It
consistent.
is low key an R&B album though. Like Drake is an R&B artist.
Nothing wrong with
keep
it.
I will say this. I read another article.
Funky.
When Drake, actually, it wasn't an article. It was the interview that Drake did like a week and a half ago when he was talking down with the guy. When
With
he
us.
stayed
In
stayed
London. Yeah,
Yeah.
Semtex.
And he said that he wanted to do an all somewhat R&B album.
Yeah.
He
Right.
said, because that's where he was at. And I think that we often forget that. Like, I know as a comic, what I have going on in my life is usually what I talk about on stage. Right now, I'm trying to lose weight. I just became a vegetarian, all of that. So a lot of my comedy is about that. And usually the same thing applies with musical artists. Whatever they're going through at that time is kind of what they put out. And, you know, he might have been he was dating Rihanna and a whole lot of things going on. So sonically, that might have been where he was at. So I can't get mad at it. But he also said he could not, you know, alienate his core fans. He know where that started, so he had to put some rap on that too. So that's probably why it had that tone. So stop hating on the real people.
He even said he didn't like the fact that Grammys put Hotline Bling in the rap category. He said it's not a rap song. So he said it himself. He's not just a rapper. He's also a pop artist and an R&B artist. So
he's an artist, TEDDRA. All right, we don't like labels. Light-skinned people don't like labels. Just let us live our lives, okay?
That's why you say light-skinned people don't like labels, but you say light-skinned people.
Hey,
what
you say, Justin?
Hotline Bling's a great song. That was actually a great point. I remember that.
I don't like what's going on right here, guys. I don't like the energy right here. That shit ain't
Chocolate
nothing
people
but
united. That's what happened.
Yeah,
Together.
Whatever, man. I don't really care about that. Justin, what you got going on, man? What can we look out for? You got a staff of like 7, right? 7 people again, or 9?
At HipHopDX, yeah. Well, you know, I stepped down as editor-in-chief in September, so I run the video side of the house now. Trent Clark, EICTC is running the ship, man. Putting out incredible content editorially,
right.
So when I say #1 site for hip-hop news, I mean it. All love and respect, but it's the truth. We also have our video program is reaching new heights for us right now. We have a show that's really popular. It comes on every Saturday called The Breakdown.
Right.
We also do a partnership with SiriusXM, so every Tuesday we're on an all-out show with Rude Jude, so you can check out that.
Yeah, man.
You know, check out our list.
Shout out to Rude Jude.
Right.
Jude is a trip, man.
Yo, for those that don't know, it's probably a lot of you guys, Rude Jude used to be on this show called Jenny Jones. And he was such a ridiculous character. They just kept calling him back, and then he ended up being a correspondent. And then he just really got into hip hop, and now he has a show on Sirius XM. But
Yeah, Shade
Rude
45.
Jude, yeah, man, he's crazy as hell.
He is, man. He has a book called Hyena too, man. It talks about some of the most ratchet things I ever heard of in my life.
Really?
Man.
I have to read it.
Yeah, you have to check it.
Of course you do.
Yeah,
It's
you
an
gotta check it out.
autobiography.
It's amazing. It's amazing. He's a good guy.
Awesome. So, what can they find you at? What platforms can they find you? What you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, check me out on Shade 45 every Tuesday at 1 p.m. on Shade 45 on All Out Show with Rude Jude. HipHopDX every Saturday, The Breakdown. Also doing different video interviews and et cetera for the publication over there. Hit me on Twitter at The Company Man.
Okay, is it just Twitter or you on Instagram too?
Instagram, everything at The Company Man.
Okay.
At The Company Man and everything.
Okay, hey, who's popping that's and slid in your DMs before we get out of here?
Popping that's lit. I don't want to answer that question.
I
will say this though, man. Big shout out to Anderson .Paak, man. He's a big fan of the show. So
hey, Pac-Man. That's crazy that you didn't give him Album of the Year last year, though. And you know Malibu deserved it. Malibu deserved it.
Did you hear that uncomfortable laugh when I was like, dang, man, you right. I was like, dang, man, you right laugh, but you're right. Yeah, big shout out to Malibu.
Man. I drove to Vegas.
Incredible.
Come on, man. From beginning to end, one of the most complete projects I've seen probably in the last 10 years, dare I say. Like, it's just, I mean, it was refreshing, man.
Right.
And the stuff that he's doing with knowledge and no worries, man, it's just, I mean, the brother's on fire. I think if I had to say who's going to have the best 2017, I definitely would say it's Anderson .Paak.
And he was the best part of Dr. Dre's last album, like by far the best part of that project.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
He's built for longevity. There's going to be so many incredible things that we see from him going forward, man. So big shout out to Anderson .Paak.
TEDDRA, who would you say is going to have the best 2017?
I'm going to say, but you guys
Migos?
No.
Lil Uzi Vert?
Oh, hell no to the no. I think
Lil Yachty.
Even though, look, I think Drake's going to have a fantastic 2017 because everybody's waiting for more life.
Right.
But I'm going to say Trey Songz because Tremaine is coming out on the 24th. And I'm speaking for all the black girls. Like, we real excited for that one. And we real excited for that tour. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there.
Migos, though. Migos culture
Migos
album.
going to have a great
That one's going to
tour.
last this year. Migos, that's a good
You think that's going to jump off more this year?
I think they got a couple other tracks on there that they can still rock with. That project goes, though.
The project is solid. It's what I expected from them. It's not a lot of surprise for me. It's just kind of like what I expected.
Get Right With You. I can play that song a million times in a row, man.
You know what? I think a lot of people slap on Drum's album, low key though. Drum's album was pretty solid.
I love Drum.
It was fun as hell. Cash Machine, listen.
Right.
Every time your boy get paid, I'm seeing Cash Machine like crazy.
I mean, you know you're dope if Drake is stealing from you.
Hey,
Unapologetically stealing too. Like,
Yeah.
I did it and.
Well, I made a whole new song off of it.
all right, so
My song now.
Anyway, let's sidestep this hate. I want to end every show with a prediction, ladies and gentlemen. My prediction this week is that Young Thug is going to come out with a new line of unisex skirts. He's going to try to push it off on the hip hop community with champion Jaden Smith as the lead model. So just stay woke. All right. Good luck, millennials.
Let's stay woke.
You guys have been amazing. Thanks so much. Let's give a big shout out to our guest Justin Hunte for coming in the building.
Word up. Thanks for having me.
This has been Not Up for Debate. Another show in the bag. Appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for the next show. Holla!